Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's Tuesday Tune-Up. I'm Tia Christensen, and I am delighted to be here with you this evening. Evening time in the Northeast. Um, I'd love to know, for those of you live and in the replay, where are you tuning in from, and what time of day is it for you? Is it dark out and in the evening, or is it nice and bright out in the daytime still? I'm always so curious. And if you have not already subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button down below. It really does support in unlocking a variety of things and with this channel so that I can extend my reach and we can be in partnership with a lot more people. It really does support. So thank you for that in advance. And here's how this goes. So every Tuesday, I show up here, you show up here, and we get to come together so that I can support you with some Reiki energy healing and some live coaching to support you in being connected with your senses, meaning the five major senses of the body, so that you can be in deep connection with your physical body to support you in connecting with your intuition and the divine so that you can go out into the world and make decisions with unshakable confidence, being lit up on fire, sparking your joy, and go out there and create a trauma free legacy. That trauma free living legacy that you know you're meant to create. And that's the vision that you have for how you want to leave this world in a better place. Because you absolutely can do that. You can absolutely have everything that your heart desires. And this is the place to come for some basic tools to support you on that path. And you get free energy healing. So as soon as you enter the transmission, either be it replay or live, the Reiki energy is already being sent over to you. And the format of this is that we start with 3 deep breaths together to support us in grounding and coming together into this time in this space. And then we'll go into a focused Reiki transmission where I'll also be checking in to see if there's any other messaging that wants to come through. And then we'll go into what we're going to talk about today, which is a number one tool to really get yourself activated and to be on fire and how to create your power group, your go-to group of people that you can lean on, that you can support each other, and why that's important and what it means. And I'm hoping that the flickering that I'm seeing on my end in this camera, which has been doing this off and on, is not happening on your end. And if it is, I apologize. So if it is and it's bothering you, I invite you to just close your eyes and just go ahead and take a listen. So we're going to go ahead and close our eyes now. If it's safe to do so, go ahead and lean on back in your chair or on the sofa or wherever you might be, allowing those cushions and that chair, that seat, that sofa, or maybe you're lying on a yoga mat to to cushion you, to hold you, to surround you, to cradle you, knowing that everything that's gone on during the day, we're just going to put that all to bed for right now. If you're still in the midst of your workday or things that you get to get done today, they're all going to be on pause. They're going to wait for you while we're in this time together, because the world waits for you when you devote a little time to self-care. And self-care is what we're about here too. So let's go ahead and start with our 3 deep breaths. We'll be breathing in together. We'll breathe in as deep as we can through our nose. We'll hold at the top of the breath. We'll exhale for a count of 4, and I'm going to guide you the whole way. So let's go ahead and breathe that first breath in together. And hold and exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathing in our second breath together again. And holding and exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. And let's breathe in together one more time. Breathing as deep as you can. Really filling those lungs and that diaphragm and holding, and exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. And as we are in this circle together, I'm just checking in. Lots of connecting cords. I call them red threads coming through today. It's this ancestral lineage that we all have. And I'm seeing just an, an intense amount of red threads. And so usually when that comes up, that's just a little hint for me to speak into our lineage, our ancestral lineage. Okay. Now the connection's coming together. I was like, I wonder how that's connecting to what we're talking about today. And what that's all about is the fact that in order for us to really be on fire with what we want to create moving forward, that trauma-free legacy, I like to call it a dynasty, and to create our group of change makers, our power group, our whatever you want to call that, like your on fire squad, your go-to people who are out there in the world, who are lit up and on fire, creating change in this world in whatever way is important to them. We get to also heal the past. So there's all of this legacy, and I'm sorry, I'm going to just check the camera setting here to see if I can, because it is driving me nuts. And I'm hoping that all of this silliness is not impacting your experience. So sometimes I can find, let's just try that. Okay. Sorry about that. I was really distracted by all this flickering. It reminded me of back in the olden days when I was so much younger, and we used to watch TV on television, and we'd only get a couple of channels. And at the end of the night, if you were up all night long, some of those channels would go off air, and they would have this sort of flickering um, element to them. So my apologies for that. So, so the red thread through line, what we can do is we can trace those red thread through lines and discover where there has been a disruption in our ancestral lineage. And we can transmute and heal and release that energy and send that energy back up to source so that it can go back up to the universal source and be changed back into light. And it's a very circular process. It's how it works. Energy is never destroyed. So what we can do and what we must do is we must change it, we must transmute it, we must heal it so that we can move forward creating our new legacy to pave the way for ourselves and to pave the way for everybody else who comes after us. So that's why there's all these little red thread through lines going up today. And I'll be curious, what's coming up for you visually too. Some people are very visual. Some people receive a lot of information through sound or through just a knowing through their, in your body, you just know things. So we'll get to speak into that. And this Reiki energy, what's coming through today, there's this also very playful energy, because healing and energy work and what we're talking about can be fun too. It doesn't always have to be very serious. And we are in a time of season, an invitation of playfulness to tap into. A few weeks ago, I had a social media post that I was guided to write, and I invited everyone, and I said it here too. I invited everyone to tap into that inner little person and go way back in time and write a letter to Santa. And so if you haven't had an opportunity to do that yet, it's coming up again to support you in tapping into that inner playfulness, that youthfulness, that little person that is still with you, that is wanting to express something and to remind you of the magic of the season, the magic of what it means to believe in magic, the magic of what it means to believe in a Santa Claus and all of those other um, characters and beings that when we were little seemed so close and at our fingertips and very attainable. And as we grow older, we distance ourselves from those things. And there are many, many beings that exist in different planes of existence. If we only believe and have an open heart and an open mind to connect with these beings. And I'm talking about the fairies, the mer people, unicorns. Yes, they are all real. They vibrate at a different energy and a different vibration than we do. That's why we don't see them walking down the street, if you will, or some of us do. So, an invitation to tap back into that playfulness. I am inviting you to write that letter to Santa from your little person self, your little boy or girl self, and really tap into maybe a memory you have about one year over the holidays, whichever holidays you might celebrate. And if they're not in this season, maybe a birthday. And something you really, really wanted. Was it a bicycle? Was it a particular toy? Was it a doll? And get that feeling, dig that feeling back up of that excitement of, oh, will I get that? Will I get that toy? Or will I have that experience? Or will my family come, my grandmother, my grandparent, my cousins, and like really get into that energy of the excitement and the wonderment of being youthful to support you as we head into the Christian holidays coming up a little less than a week from today. And I know we're also in the middle of Hanukkah here. And so, what are those things that maybe you did during those holiday seasons to support you? And what I'm being asked to share is one of the reasons that this is so important is because it supports you in healing the energy of the past. So, maybe you had a really tough childhood, or there were some things that happened that were really, really challenging and very traumatic. And what are the things that you can pull forward that brought you joy? Maybe it's something very, very simple. And I'm seeing the image from the Polar Express at the end. If you've seen the movie, there's a young little boy, the last boy to get on the train, when he gets dropped off at his house. And it's the visual of it is that he's on the wrong side of the tracks. His house is not a very nice house. It looks very dilapidated. And when he gets off the train and he goes back inside after having this grand adventure with all these other kids, he comes running back out in sheer joy and wonderment because Santa has been there, and there's actually Christmas presents for the first time. There's a Christmas tree for the first time, and it could be that there's somebody here who has a very similar experience or had a very similar experience. So I also want to honor that sometimes the holidays can bring up a lot of discomfort and a lot of pain for people. So I'm inviting you to find something, some little spark of light that you can hold on to support in healing the past so that we can move forward into the future. And yeah, we're all being wrapped. I'm just checking in here. We're all being wrapped in this beautiful. What I'm seeing is a candy cane of energy. So this like beautiful white light energy and this beautiful red ray energy coming through, swirling around us and holding us as we're in circle here today. So I'm going to shift over. I do try and keep the transmissions unless I'm being really guided to share a whole lot of information. Fairly short and compact because we're all busy. And this is really meant for you to come here, get boosted up energetically, be inspired, and then go out and meet the rest of your week feeling physically energized, energized, spiritually energized, and having mental clarity and being connected with what you want to do in the week. So I'm going to shift over into what we're going to talk about tonight, which is really about how we can come together and um, create our most amazing. Sorry, I've got a little boy. It's a there's a lot going on around me tonight. So what I'm getting from that um, is also uh, disruption. There's some disruption energy that's floating about, and so I'm just going to check in for a quick second and just put up some reinforce the energetic walls. That's a bit why the camera's flickering. There's been all these little things, so my apologies. So we can move into the conversation of the number one tip, the number one tool to create your positive legacy, because that's what we're talking about tonight. And I've already been speaking into it, healing the past so that you can create the future. And a tool that came right channeled live while we were here today is to write that letter to Santa Claus, or if that's not something that resonates for you, just writing a letter to, it could be the tooth fairy, it could be to whomever magical being maybe was in your life that created childlike wonderment for you. And the number one tool to create your positive legacy is to surround yourself with people who are change makers, people who are on fire in their life. And what I mean by that is not people who are perfect, not people who are don't have, living the perfect life, or so we view that, because there's no such thing as the perfect life. There's no such thing as perfection. I'm talking about the people out there who are running the race, who are I'm trying to think of who are who are in the fight. And what I mean by that, in the fight, they're out there taking themselves on. They're running the race, they're shining their light, they're taking themselves on. And when you surround yourself with others who are out there taking themselves on, challenging themselves to take a look at their stories, to take a look at moments when maybe we're self righteous or angry or judgmental, and take ourselves on to what's the deeper story there. Get ourselves some coaching or some energy work or therapy or whatever is needed, to surround yourself with people who have big ideas, big visions, who are willing to plant a flag on the top of the mountain and go for it. Because when we surround ourselves with our people who hold us accountable and check in with us, and when I say accountable, I mean, hey, what's coming up for you? What are you up to today? What's your declaration? These are some coaching catchphrases. This is what I do with my clients. And what can we do to support? How can we move the needle on what it is you want to create in life? When you surround yourself with people who are like that, the energy is the energy of creation. And when we're surrounded by the energy of creation, the universe begins to move and to conspire to create everything that we do want in life. Conversely, when we have a lot of people in our life, I call it the Eeyore method. Oh, my tail. Do you remember Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh? Oh, my tail. I just walked around and I don't know where my tail is, and just sort of had this very slow and very, depressed manner about the character. When we are surrounded by people who are not willing to take themselves on and choose to be stuck in that space, and that's okay, that's their choice, it drags us down. It's an energy suck. And I'm not saying kick all the people out of your life. I am inviting you to take a look at the people who are in your life. And if you get to have more people in your life that are playing a bigger game, that are up to big things, that have big visions, that want to do more, even when we stumble, fall, skin our knees, slip from the mountaintop, or whatever it is, because those are life's challenges to support us in learning a really beautiful lesson in the moment. When you surround yourself with those people, everything becomes easier and you end up getting what you do want. So in order to create that positive legacy, you get to surround yourself with people who are positive, radiating positive energy for the most part. Not all of us can do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's definitely a practice. And I think you know what I'm talking about. So I'd love to know, would you please put in the comments below, give me the name of 2 people that radiate positive energy, that really inspire you, that support you in continuing to move forward to create your positive legacy. There are so many people in my life. I am so blessed with beautiful people. And I'm going to name 2 of them right now. So I'm going to go first. The first one is my bestie, Donna Cornelius. She is always taking me on, and we're laughing with each other, we're supporting each other, and we're loving on each other. And I am blessed to have her in my life. And my other dear friend, my other bestie is Summer Peterson. And we went through a really intense program together to support us in taking on our negative ego. And we were breakthrough buddies. We supported each other in breaking through a lot of stuck energy, a lot of old stories that kept us stuck in behavior patterns that weren't serving us. And to this day, we take each other on with love and compassion and gratitude and laughter and tears. And that's our agreement with each other to, not every day that we talk, but we take each other on when it's needed, and we celebrate life's deliciousness together. And so I see a couple of comments in the chat. Let me grab my glasses here. Oh, my friend Corey. Hold on, I gotta get the old glasses. Mature eyes is how I like to say that. I have mature eyes. Oh, Karen, hello, love. Yeah, this peaceful time. Oh, Karen, I love spending this time with you too. Thank you so very much for being here. I deeply appreciate you. MJ, hello, Corey. And is it Maisha? And Karen, my friend Rose. Yes. Whew. So those of you catching the replay, I would love for you to put 2 names of people who are in your life right now that are those positive legacy builders. And my invitation to you is also to create a list this week of additional people that you would like to have be in your inner circle. So whatever that name is for you, it could be your power squad. It could be your power team. It could be your legacy builders. It could be your dream team. Uh, whatever it is for you, I invite you to create a list of people that maybe you know through church or work or a different organization, somebody you just met at a networking event. How about somebody in your family that's up to really big things? How about somebody that inspires you online? Reach out to them and let them know. Those of us who are out there with a lot of social media posts and with an intention to create connection and change and shift the energy of the world, we're never too busy to connect with you. Might take us a little bit of time, but please reach out. And who inspires you, and reach out to them and let them know that you see them as part of your inner squad, your inner positive legacy team, the change makers in your life that you draw inspiration from so that you can keep going. All right, my loves, are there your brother Eric? Oh, yes. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Beautiful people here. All right, I'm going to pause for a moment. Mentioned a lot of information, so I just want to give it a moment to see if there are any questions or any other shares that would like to come up at this moment in time while we're live. And for those of you catching the replay, please let us know who in your life inspires you and who you see as a positive change maker to support you in building your positive legacy. And who would you like to have in your inner circle to support you as you move forward? So we just go ahead and we'll be in quiet for a few moments. Okay. All right, my loves. Well, if there is nothing else that left, next Tuesday, we were going to be on a break. My birthday is actually coming up over the weekend here on the 23rd. I am a Capricorn, and I'm going to take a little time to be with family, to rejuvenate, and do some things for myself as some self care so that I can come back in at the end of the month and move into January really on fire and have a list of things that I can share with you. They're going to be coming your way that you'll be able to sign up for, and the ways that we get to come together outside of Tuesday Tune Up. Oh, thank you, MJ. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that we can continue to support each other in creating our positive legacy and healing the past, and do it with heart and excitement and compassion and openness, and embrace each other as we move through this journey together. Um, oh, thank you, Karen. Thank you so much for the happy birthdays. I appreciate it. All right, my loves, I am wishing you all very happy holidays and whatever you may be celebrating in this time of year. I am wishing you a beautiful rest of your day or night, and I am loving you passionately, and we'll see you here in 2 weeks. And as always, if you have any questions or shares, feel free to pop them in the comments or reach out to me at tia@dreamsculptinginstitute.com. I love hearing from you. Mwah.